The Lexus RZ450e is the second electric car from the Japanese luxury brand. However, whereas the UX300e was adapted from an internal combustion engine architecture, the RZ450e was designed from the ground up as an EV. It's also larger and more spacious than the UX, providing some EV competition to the likes of the BMW 9/3, Audi e-tron and Mercedes-Benz EQC. Value. The RZ450e is available in two models, Luxury and Sports Luxury, each of which is connected via the phone network to allow over-the-air software updates. The RZ Luxury is priced from $123,000 plus on-road costs and includes 18-inch wheels, fake leather trim, surround view camera, heated front seats, dual-zone ventilation, wireless phone charging, smart key entry and a 14-inch infotainment screen with Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. It also comes with two charging cables, allowing slow charging from a regular power point as well as a Type 2 to Type 2 charger for public charging stations that aren't fitted with a cable. The RZ450e also includes 3 years of charging on the ChargeFox network, which has had its fair share of outages. Plus you get access to Lexus On Demand, which allows owners to borrow vehicles from a fleet of Lexus models at airports across the country. Buyers get 8 days access up to 4 times during the first 3 years of ownership. The $135,000 Sports Luxury picks up some features that arguably should be fitted to all models. We're thinking memory buttons for the seats and a head-up display. The Sports Luxury also gets 20-inch alloys, double-glazed side windows, suede look trim, adjustable ambient lighting, sunroof, ventilated front seats, heated rear seats, head-up display, roof rails, and a 13-speaker Mark Levinson sound system. Plus, there's a radiant seat heating system that sends heat out from the lower dashboard to keep legs toasty. Two-tone paint is available on the Sports Luxury for another $4,200, and by late 2024, Lexus hopes to be offering the much-hyped yoke-style steering wheel. The RZ is covered by a 5-year, unlimited kilometer warranty with a separate 8-year, 160,000 kilometers warranty on the battery. Inside. The RZ's cabin is a mixed bag, especially in luxury guys. Everything fits beautifully in the cabin, but the base Sports doesn't have the tactile and elegant materials we've come to know from Lexus. The plastics atop the doors could easily be found in a Toyota or a Mazda, and the sizable slab of fake leather isn't at the levels Lexus has been known for. The Sports Luxury has a much more upmarket feel. A wood-like grain in the center console and textured trim where the glove box should be is the start. The fake suede is also a big step up, especially on the door trims. The two-piece glass roof is also a classy addition. Press a button and it changes from a view of the sky to an opaque white. No issues with space, which takes advantage of the flat floor that makes rear legroom generous. But the floor is relatively high, so taller folk will have their knees up higher. There are also an extra 2 USB-C outlets and central rear air vents. Those up front are also well catered for, and there's a sizable storage binnacle beneath the floating center console. It partially makes up for the lack of a glove box. In either model, the digital instrument cluster only utilizes about half the space allocated, with warning lights and a trip computer in the Luxury sprouting up either side. The 14-inch central screen is a lot more convincing, tilted towards the driver and with circular dials integrate in the screen to adjust the temperature on either side. The boot does without a spare tire, as with all rivals, but has a decent size space along with split folding seats for bulky items. Performance and efficiency. The Lexus RZ450e gets 2 electric motors for all-wheel drive. Unusually, the motor up front is bigger and more powerful than the one at the rear. It makes 150 kilowatts and 266 Newton meters, while the one out back has just 80 kilowatts per 169 Newton meters. Combined, the output is 230 kilowatts and 435 Newton meters, which is healthy but not spectacular by dual-motor EV standards. No qualms with acceleration, though. It pulls strongly from a standstill and the motors are respectably quiet. There are also various drive modes that subtly adjust the steering and throttle response, although changing those modes is harder than it needs to be. Instead of an easily accessible buttons, it's multiple presses of the touchscreen. The claimed range is 400 kilometers according to the WLTP standard. Lexus is marketing the less relevant NEDC Future, which yields 470 kilometers. Either way, our brief experience suggests something like 350 kilometers. Charging. The RZ450e gets a 71.4 kilowatt-hour battery. It'll accept up to 11 kilowatts of AC charge for a full fill in about 7 hours. With the 7 kilowatts charger installed at home when you buy the car, it's more like 11 hours of charge time. The maximum DC charge power is 150 kilowatts, which Lexus says can translate to a 10 to 80% charge, about 280 kilometers of WLTP range, in as little as 30 minutes. Ride and handling. The RZ450e is claimed to deliver an electric take on the Lexus driving signature. Perhaps the strongest attribute to back that up is the way it disposes of bumps. The Lexus RZ is nicely controlled and also soaks up road uglies with ease. It makes for a comfortable ride and one unflustered by repeated imperfections. In luxury guys, some road surfaces lead to a fair bit of noise from the tires, perhaps exacerbated by the near silence of the drivetrain. Sports luxury models don't experience that as much due to double-glazed side glass. Another thing that upsets the silence is the beeper in reverse. Surely there are better ways to inform the driver they are about to go backwards. Through corners, the RZ450e is competent and happy to get along with some pace on board. With either the 18-inch or 20-inch tires, there's ample grip. Less endearing is the dull feel in the steering, which takes the edge off the dynamic talent. The RZ also leans on its nose when you're pushing on. Talking point. The RZ does without a glove box in part because of the radiant heating system that keeps legs warm. That means the owner's manual ends up in the boot, in case anyone bothers to thumb through them these days. But Lexus also points to the sizable central binnacle that'll easily look after small bags and other paraphernalia. Safety. The RZ450e comes with a healthy dose of active safety gear, including autonomous